You know, we've hit our official start time, but there are still people to join.
Yeah, I feel a bit alone. But Dave should come soon. I don't know for Steve.
We know we're expecting Spencer. He had tried to join a few minutes before, but was having audio issues. So I expect he'll be back momentarily. And there was email from Steve indicating that he would be here today. So we're still waiting a couple of minutes to really get started. Spencer's working out some audio issues, and we're still expecting Steve. Although Steve hasn't worked out his sign-in problems, he can't get on to Medico.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Steve's getting in. He must have gotten past the password problem.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Steve, we can hear you. And now we can see you.
Sorry, I was out. I just came back.
No worries. Spencer is still fighting an audio issue. Dave, are you connected enough to where you can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear and I can speak too.
Awesome.
Hi,
Thank
folks.
you. So while Spencer's digging through whatever is happening to keep his system from sending audio, could everybody check to see if any corrections need to be made to June's meeting minutes?
Okay.
And if
Yeah.
not, just
They are fine for me.
yeah. Steve, do you want to jump into the hot topic conversation on resolving these last 2 points of discussion with Ori on seller tags?
Yes. Is Ori here? Okay. I wanted well, you saw my email earlier. I wanted to publish a draft 19 of tags this afternoon, but I could not log in. I finally got an email to reset my password, so that's why I'm here now. So I'll do that as soon, probably not tonight, but tomorrow. And then I don't know what's the next step, but we're going forward. And for Codec, I think there was not much left. I didn't see any pending merge request or issue for Codec, so I think we can start some review.
Yeah, that was the notes, I think, from last time, was that Spencer
I
would
cannot
start.
hear you, Robert.
You can't hear me.
I don't know if it's me, but I cannot hear you.
How about
Oh,
Dave
I
or
can.
Jerome? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep, I hear you too.
Steve, do you hear someone?
If other people are speaking, I think it's me. Okay.
It's you.
So I don't know what to do. It was just working. I didn't touch anything. I tried to log out and come back.
Spencer's bouncing for audio reasons as well.
Oh man, rough meeting.
Yeah. So it sounds to me that Steve thinks that what's in 19 that's coming out is going to be good enough. I think Spencer had some concerns about particularly the last point about we're basically going to copy some ABNF in, but we're relying on some other spec where that ABNF may change over the long run, and he's just wanting to check that everybody's comfortable that where we're going is the right thing to do.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
So Steve,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, so I think for Codex, I think the next step is start some review. For the moment, we don't need to push a new version, as far as I know.
So, Steve, as I was mentioning to other people, as you can see in the notes, Spencer wanted to double check this issue around your other point, as in the conversation you're having with Ori about the reference to this yet to be published document and whether or not we're copying ABNF forward. Is there any feedback you want from Jerome or Dave on this, or do you think what you've got in 19 is self-explanatory and resolves the issue? Or
from the discussion with Ori, from what I understood, he was okay with the change I did, so I just merged it. So that's why there will be a version 19. As for the fact it's the other document we could use is unpublished, I mean, it would be nice if it was published and we could reference it, but as I was saying in the discussion, for me, like the whole of Matroska, not just tags, could benefit from that restriction on UTF values, because basically every string in Matroska is a UTF string, and it's an unwritten rule, but people expect it to be like readable text. But it's an unwritten rule. I don't know if people have been abusing that stuff. So maybe it's too late to restrict it, and that's what I was saying as well. For tags, it could as well be too late to restrict that, because even in the official tags we define, there might be something that would become illegal or not spec compliant that were okay before. So, in my opinion, even if it would be nice to have some cleaner restrictions, I think it's too late for that.
Right, Steve, what do you mean by it has to be readable text? Like if you like when it's ISBN, if you just put some digits in there, is that sufficient? Or
no, it's from what I understand from what Ori was saying is that like in Unicode, you can put all kinds of stuff that is not just readable text. And so that's why there's these Unicode assignables and like a subset of possible Unicode values that people agree are okay to use, and basically the rest is not so good. Yeah, so it's just a subset, but like I said, we never restrict that before, and I think it's too late for now.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of motivation to restrict it. I don't know, like if somebody wanted to fill it with tab characters and vertical tabs and things like that, I think they should be fine. It's weird, but it's okay.
Yeah, especially when you put that in text subtitles, it could actually be used to do some formatting. So in that context, at least, it could be used. But then it's codec data, so technically, it's not our problem. On the Matroska side, everything that's inside the codec is outside of our scope.
I don't know. I think if a user was trying to enter a description into a Matroska format and they were copying, pasting in from another space where the text is unrestricted, it would be reasonable to expect that the text is, for the most part, preserved, even if they're bringing some unexpected. I don't know. I just feel like it's not the right place to police people's data entry.
Yeah, also, I think there's, for example, in the tags, I think there's one called comment, where you can put like any kind of user text or whatever, and that's typically the place where people would put any kind of thing. As long as it's UTF-8, it's fine.
So what's the I mean, do we have consensus that we are not going to constrain these tag values beyond the limits of UTF-8?
From my understanding and from what Ori said, I think he was okay with not using that restriction.
Okay. I mean, same here too. Does that require any change to the specification?
Oh, no. No, if we had, that's the problem. If we had the restriction, then we would need to reference a document that's not yet published, so it's a bit tricky. But since we're not going that way, it's not a problem.
Yeah, so number one, are you guys hearing my audio now?
Yes.
Yes.
Chromebook for the win in a completely different room. You know, when you swap out everything, stuff starts working. But no, this was the thing with me wanting to go ahead and discuss this as a working group early, because the one thing I got from Ori was other people may ask similar kinds of questions, and for us to just say, yeah, we talked about this and we all agree this is the right thing to do, rather than you try to figure that out while we're replying to IETF last call comments. So I just wanted to know that the working group agreed on this.
Yeah.
But I think this is very consistent with the stuff that we've been saying for like a decade, that it's not our job to break stuff that people have encoded previously.
Mm.
So restrictions would do that, wouldn't they?
I mean, there have been people who've made malformed Matroska files out in the wild. We're not necessarily looking to suddenly validate bad implementations, but
yeah. But saying this conformed until it stopped conforming,
yeah,
is that's not a good look.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we have consensus that it should be a UTF-8 free-for-all in any of these tag values, unless there's a couple places where the documentation gives recommendations or restrictions, but I don't know. I don't think we need an overall one. I don't know. It doesn't sound like anyone's coming to the defense of the idea that we author further restrictions down from UTF-8. So,
yeah, I mean that's my understanding of the way we've thought about things in the past.
Okay.
So I can put that in the notes.
Yeah. So the outcome is we do nothing. Is that right?
Yes, and I will.
You agree to do nothing.
I will type slightly more than that. Cool. Next.
So while you're bouncing in and out, Spencer, Steve noted that Codec 15 is ready for working group last call, and you shouldn't wait for a 16.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, no, that's did I may have screwed that up, but yes, he put in 15, and we said that was the one we were waiting on the last time we talked about this. So so we're ready to move forward on that document now as well.
I think so. Yes.
Cool. If you will excuse me for about 90 seconds, I will go start that.
Yeah, you be ready for the new pieces of the data tracker to surprise you.
There's nothing that the data tracker can do to surprise me that that MeetEcho hasn't already done today.
Yeah. So last time we checked in on FFV1v4, we were in a holding pattern waiting for things to happen elsewhere. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I think the last couple moves we've been doing is just doing a version bump without any content changing in it. I mean, there's a couple open things in the issue tracker, like a wish list, and I think I put like an email list out about FFV1 a few months back, but didn't get a whole lot of response. So I think it's just on one of us to take some initiative and get to work on some of these issues. I'm not sure if Michael Niedermeyer is not on this call, but I don't know if he's been in the meetings recently, but I don't know. Jerome, do I have that right, or is there anything else going on with FFV1?
No, we still want to update it based on the feedback from the GPU implementation, but still work in progress.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I think that it's just there's no update, but there's still a desire to keep it an active working.
Yeah, we still want it because we are gathering feedback from the GPU implementation and what we need to improve in order to have more parallelization for FFV1, because we want to support 8K, and for the moment it is still slow even with the GPU implementation. So we need to find the way to have something faster, and we have some clues to where we should focus for having a speed up without breaking a lot of things, but we need to agree about how we implement that. So it is not already in the specification.
Jerome, is there a good next step for that, to just sort of nudge along some conversation about how we would go about that?
It is me and Michael agreeing about how we do that.
What about those who actually? There were some other folks working on the GPU implementation beyond Michael. I don't know. Is it worth including them in the discussion?
It is not Michael who implemented the GPU part, and this is Lynn. And but Michael has proposed something, for example, not compressing the last bits, and we need to do benches. So he has 3 proposals about how to store the last bits without compressing them, because compressing the last bit, the last bits are a bit random. So if we don't compress them, we don't lose a lot of compression ratio. But we need to find what is the best way for storing them.
Okay.
So he has 3 proposals, and he needs someone to bench them and so on. And I want to do that, but yeah, lack of time. But when we agree about how to store the last bits in a faster way, it will be part of FFV1 before. But yeah, nothing else to say about it for the moment. So it is stalled, but there's still some background work on that. So we still want to keep it. And at some point there will be FFV1 before, but I cannot say when. So as it is volunteer, it is not easy.
Okay.
When we did ask about this last, there was just a general feeling that we would likely be trying to progress a document out of CELLAR while we're still in 2025. Does that still feel right to you?
Up with my mic. Yeah, I still plan to do an improvement in this year. Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't put a section in to talk about chapter codecs. It's maybe I should just to touch base. We had parked that for a while. Is it still just needing to stay parked?
Yeah, it's for now. There's no update. There was a guy from the office that was going to Japan, but I
Yeah.
don't know if you can check. But also, we do have a bit of the DVD spec at the office from scans from I don't know where. But we have them. I have them, but they don't contain the menu, so it's a bit useless. They don't contain a lot of things that we need, but so yeah. Um, there are things floating on the internet, but not what we need.
Yeah.
But actually, for VLC, this summer we did Google Summer of Code with a guy who implemented DVD audio support. And basically, we had to go through the same thing to support it. There's an unofficial spec that some people did that were more or less corresponding to what we found on many disks. So it's working. Basically, the libDVD-nav, which is what VLC uses for the DVD menu, is based on the same thing, but for DVD video. And so far, it seems to work on all disks, so we could assume that these unofficial specs are correct. We could base the work on that and say that's all we have. I don't know if it's clean or not, but since that's all we can get, and it seems to work 100% of the time, so maybe that's enough.
No. Leave that to what,
Yeah.
the group participants have to say.
Yeah, since we are going to have, we'll see what happens with the tag and codec, but I might have more time to work on that now. So I'll see what I can do.
And I think that takes us to any other business.
I don't know. I think Jerome just put in a new pull request. It's kind of related to some discussions we were having about the timecode block addition. I think for some of the block additional mappings, there's occasionally need to add some contextual information. So like Jerome and I were discussing, like either this would be an additional field in the block additional mapping, or it would be a link to the tagging structure. So I think Jerome kind of preferred the latter. I think it's a little bit more uncontrolled, but I'm okay with it.
It is not that I prefer it. I would prefer to have a title, because what I am looking for is the title of the block addition. But from the discussion with Steve, my understanding is that the block addition mapping ID in the tags is the way you want it. Is it right?
I don't remember that one in tags.
So we want to add a title to the block addition for.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so it's a target value.
So my understanding from this
yes,
discussion is that it is a target in the tags. It is the reason. So I want to be sure that it is the preferred way to add any title to the block addition. For instance, we have several time codes, and we want to have a title per time code. So like for audio, when you say But when you add a title to the audio track, and we need similarly to add a title to the block addition to the time code.
Well, hang on. The audio track, there is a field called name that just gives a label on the track. So you don't need to use the tags at all if you're going to label an audio track. But I think what we're debating here is if you do need to use tags, if you want to add a name or a title to the
Yeah,
block.
but block additions are not a track. It's extra data that are attached to the regular data from the tracks, and you can have multiple types of block addition for the same track.
Yeah.
So I understand that you want to give a title to each of them.
Yes.
Yes.
What you did seemed okay to me.
But is it the only way, or do you have an alternative for that? To add in we could add a title block in the block addition, for example.
I don't remember if the block addition is a master element or they're all everything that's
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
Steve, I just
Right.
linked to the field I was thinking about for this, where you just put a name underneath the tracks. So I was thinking about just having a name underneath the block additional mapping. So you could say this one is a LITSI timecode and this one is a VITSI timecode. So we could have a distinction between when we have multiple of the same mapping.
Yes, I understand, but so yes, the block additions is master element, and the block more is where you put the data and the ID. So basically, you could add string elements in the block more element, and that would work also to give a friendly name to that block more, which contain the block additional data. And no, wait, I'm wrong. That's in the block group in the cluster. What you want is in the track information. Mm. I'm on a computer that I never use, so that's the one with the webcam.
Maybe both are useful. So we have something similar to segment tracks, track country name. So there is this element for track country. We could have a human readable track name, so for the block addition, and also to map to the tags if we need to add something else in the future.
But there is already a block add ID name in the block track entry block.
The ID name is about the kind of the type of block additional, not a name.
Yeah, but this is a third option. We could adjust the definition.
We could adjust, yes.
Because this
yes.
is,
Mm.
we could say that this is just like a human readable way for us to describe or contextualize the block addition. Because
yeah, I mean, it's human readable. So the opposite way would be machine readable. So basically, it's not meant to be parsed to extract information. It's just to give information to user. What you want, the advantage of using tags is that you could have the same tag targeting the same content in different languages, for example. I don't know if that's something you want, but you cannot do, well, you can always, but it would be tricky to do it inside the track elements, but that's something that's easier to do with tags. But for me, that would be the only real advantage of using tags.
Yeah, I think it is not something we need a lot, but it is maybe good to have it for being similar to other things, for chapters and tracks and so on. So I would like to add it, so to have this this ID in the tags, so for being able to have that maybe in the future. And maybe the block add ID name, we would change the description for saying that we
It's
don't
too late.
describe the type of the block additional data, but we describe the value, the ID.
Well, I mean, I really think it makes sense to constrain what type of description is happening to each block additional mapping. And I thought we also have a field called block add ID extra, where the block additional mapping definition would say what goes in there if that field is used at all for each block additional mapping. So like in the timecode mapping, we could say use the extra field to say the source of the timecode, so that the use of an extra field could be contextual based on the mapping. Because I think for the most part, most of these block additional mappings don't need any additional data. Like we don't need to have a title for like HDR data in there. It just needs to be identified.
No, in my opinion, we don't use it in practice.
Yeah, I think, guys, I have a call at 3:40, so I have to jump off this call in a minute.
Okay.
So
well, we can still discuss on GitHub anyway, analyze more. But I don't have anything against adding an element as long as it's for version 5.
Yeah, I already modified my pull request for that. I will send another pull request for changing a bit the block add ID name for removing the type of block additional data, just saying that it is a human-friendly name describing the block additional data, not the type of block additional data. So
Okay,
I will do
be...
2 separate PR so we can discuss on GitHub about that.
Okay, so that would be in errata for RFC 95 of 259.
Yeah. If it is fine for you.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think we need to do some more errata. That's also actually something I need to work on.
All right, guys, I have to jump off now. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I have nothing else to say, so for me it is fine.
Same for me.
I'm itching a little bit at the idea that you're calling some things errata. I would like to see the proposed.
Yeah, it's not a done deal.
It might not be errata. It might be an update.
And that's fine. It's just we shouldn't call updates errata.
Right.
Yeah, it is an update, so it is tweaking a bit.
Yeah. I mean, an update is a whole document, or it can be just...
No, it can just be a small document that says this sentence in that document is now changed to say this other thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the difference between an errata and an update document is an errata is intended to correct a publication error. It could either be a grammatical error or an actual technical error, but it was a place where the working group realized that they had consensus to say foo at the time that was published, but somehow the text said bar. And they can point to the evidence that it really should have said foo based on the previous discussions, and that gets put in as an errata. But if it's later, time has gone by, and it says, oh, here's this new thing that we want to do, or, oh, we realize that we missed this whole use case, or whatever, and you want to put in additional stuff, it needs to have the process that supports the additional stuff went through a consensus process and errata are not. That's the important part.
Yeah.
And that can be put into a simple document that just updates the other document. It doesn't have to copy all the bits out of the other document. It says, that document used to say this, now it says this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we've seen these where the body of the text was 2 sentences long, saying where it says this, it should say this.
Yep. Yeah, I think I've tried to get the shortest RFC on record with one of those. I think I missed by 16 bytes, but
but we're still young.
yep.
Challenge accepted.
All right. Anything else that we need to talk about today?
No.
Robert, just to make sure that I got this, so I was doing something else when y'all were talking about FFV1 before. Are we parking that document now, or are we doing something else with it?
Yeah, we're just waiting for some activity to happen on the implementation side to come back and feed into this.
Okay.
I don't think we need to change its state in the data tracker. It's just, we're going to wait. With our current expectation is that we're not going to be waiting that much longer. That sometime this year it'll pick up and we would request publication.
Right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you.
And thank
Steve,
you.
sorry the
all
data tracker gave you trouble.
my computer.
Thanks. I don't know if you did something, but it worked.
Yeah. Somehow I sent in the email, there was a page you should go to now that you're logged in and make sure everything on that page is what you expect it to be. Because before, if you had been able to look at that before the password change requirement went into place, you would have seen that your email address had been marked as unactivated. And that's what I fixed, was I just activated that email address.
Okay, strange.
Yeah.
That went into effect just before the last IETF meeting, and I panicked then.
Yep.
Maybe I missed some email that I had to do something and I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. There were some notices that went out, but none of them were targeted at specific people. The only way you would have noticed would be to have tried to have logged in. So
Yeah.
Okay.
If you stay logged in like I do, you kind of have to reboot a machine or something to see it pop up.
Yeah.
So,
no, I didn't tell you. It would have told you about it. Yeah. But that's all right.
cool.
All right. Our next meeting, Spencer's already noted in the notes, is September 20. Was it 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and on that call, we should probably start sketching what our 2026 meetings are, at least for the first quarter. So,
yeah, this is the kind of thing that Robert is good at. Michael and I agreed on what our dates were. We just didn't I thought he had submitted them and he thought I had submitted them. So that's why 2025 got off to kind of a bang start.
all right. See y'all soon.
Thank you all.
See you.
Hey.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.